Have you ever felt like your dreams are just out of reach? Like the universe is testing you before revealing your true purpose? What if I told you there's a hidden code to achieving everything you've ever wanted, and it's been right in front of you all along? Today, we're diving deep into The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Not just another book, but a blueprint for discovering your personal legend. This story has changed millions of lives, but few truly understand its hidden wisdom. From secret symbols to life-altering choices, we'll uncover the powerful lessons most people miss. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to recognize the signs guiding you toward your destiny, the biggest mistake that keeps people from reaching their dreams, and the one lesson that could transform your life forever. So, if you've ever questioned your path or wondered if the universe is trying to tell you something, stay with us. This could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Welcome to where we unravel the mysteries of life's greatest lessons. If you're ready to unlock your true potential, make sure to subscribe and join us on this journey. Before we talk about Santiago's journey, we need to understand a mysterious concept that lies at the heart of The Alchemist, the personal legend. It's not just a dream or a goal, it's something much deeper, something woven into the fabric of who we are. Paulo Coelho describes it as the one thing you were born to do. The path that, if followed, leads to true fulfillment. But here's the part most people overlook. The moment you set out to achieve it, obstacles will appear. Not because the universe is against you, but because it's testing how badly you want it. Santiago, the young shepherd, thinks his life is simple. He roams the fields, tends to his sheep, and dreams of adventure. But then a recurring vision disrupts his peaceful existence, a dream of a hidden treasure buried near the Egyptian pyramids. At first, it seems absurd. Why would a shepherd from Spain have anything to do with Egypt? And yet something inside him refuses to let it go. That's the thing about a personal legend. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It appears as a feeling you can't explain, a pull toward something greater. But most people ignore it. They choose comfort over uncertainty, routine over risk. Santiago could have done the same. He could have dismissed the dream, continued his life as a shepherd, and convinced himself that treasure was just an illusion. But then something unexpected happens. Before we talk about the mysterious figures Santiago meets on his journey, we need to focus on something even more important, the voice inside him that urges him forward, the heart. At first, Santiago is torn. Should he abandon everything for an uncertain path? Should he leave behind the safety of his flock just because of a dream? Doubt creeps in, whispering that it's all foolishness. But then, he meets an old king, Melchizedek, who tells him something that changes everything. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. This is the first real test, trusting the unknown. And it's not just Santiago's test, it's one we all face. The voice of reason tells us to play it safe, but the heart? It knows something the mind doesn't. It speaks in instincts, in quiet nudges, in unexplainable feelings. But most people ignore it, convincing themselves that security is better than uncertainty. Santiago listens. He sells his sheep, crosses the sea, and arrives in a strange new land. But almost immediately, things go wrong. He's robbed, left with nothing, and forced to work for a crystal merchant just to survive. It seems like the universe betrayed him. Wasn't everything supposed to conspire to help him? This is where most people give up, when the first sign of difficulty appears. They think hardship means they were wrong to follow their heart. But what they don't realize is that the journey tests you before it rewards you. And Santiago is about to learn exactly why. Before we talk about Santiago's greatest challenge, we need to uncover a hidden truth about destiny. Help often arrives in ways we least expect. After losing everything, Santiago works for a crystal merchant, thinking his dream of treasure was nothing more than a mistake. But here's where most people get it wrong. The universe doesn't deny dreams, it prepares you for them. Every obstacle, every setback, every detour is part of the test. Santiago doesn't realize it yet, but his time at the shop is teaching him patience, business skills, and the value of persistence. And then, just when he starts to believe his dream was foolish, something strange happens. He overhears a conversation about a caravan heading across the desert to Egypt, the very place his dream pointed to. It's as if fate is giving him a second chance. But this is where most people hesitate. They get comfortable in their struggles, telling themselves it's too late to start again. Santiago could have stayed, saving money and living a quiet life. But deep down, he knows this isn't where he's meant to be. So once again, he takes a risk. He joins the caravan, stepping into the vast and unpredictable desert. What he doesn't know is that the journey ahead will test him in ways he never imagined. And soon he will meet a man who will forever change his understanding of the universe. Before we talk about the man who will change Santiago's life, we need to understand something that stops most people from ever reaching their destiny. Fear. Not just the fear of failing, but the fear of losing everything along the way. As Santiago crosses the desert, doubt creeps in once again. The journey is long, exhausting, and filled with danger. The caravan faces harsh conditions, and whispers of tribal wars spread through the camps. Every day he wonders, what if I never find the treasure? What if I've made a mistake? And then he meets him, the alchemist. A man who doesn't just talk about destiny, but understands the hidden forces that shape it. He tells Santiago something that shakes him to his core. You will never be able to escape your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say. This is where the real test begins. Santiago has come too far to turn back, but the fear of failure is stronger than ever. And he's not alone. Everyone chasing a dream reaches this moment, the point where everything feels uncertain, where the easy way out is tempting. But what Santiago doesn't realize is that the treasure isn't just buried in the sands of Egypt. It's buried within him. And before he can claim it, he must face a trial that will either break him or transform him forever. Before we talk about the final revelation Santiago faces, we need to address something that often stands between people and their destiny: love. Not love as comfort, but love as a choice. A force that can either hold you back or push you forward. In the middle of the desert, Santiago meets Fatima. She is beautiful, wise, and unlike anyone he has ever known. Instantly, he feels something undeniable, a love so strong that, for the first time, he considers staying in one place. He could build a life with her, forget about the treasure, and call the desert his home. But then, the alchemist gives him a warning. Love never keeps a man from pursuing his destiny. If he abandons that pursuit, it was never true love. This is the moment most people misunderstand. They believe love means staying, choosing security over risk. But Fatima, she understands something deeper. She tells Santiago to go, to chase his legend. Because real love doesn't chain you, it sets you free. Santiago faces the hardest decision of all: walk away from the woman he loves or risk losing himself. He chooses to continue his journey, heartbroken but determined. And what he doesn't realize yet is that this sacrifice isn't an ending, it's a test. Because the universe never takes away without giving something greater in return. But before Santiago can reach his treasure, he will face the most dangerous challenge yet, one that will demand everything he has left. Before we talk about Santiago's final discovery, we need to understand one last truth. Every great journey ends with a trial. A test so difficult that it forces you to prove once and for all that you are worthy of what you seek. As Santiago and the alchemist travel deeper into the desert, they are captured by warring tribes. The situation is deadly. The soldiers don't care about dreams or destiny. They see Santiago as nothing more than a helpless wanderer. And then the alchemist does something unthinkable. He tells the men that Santiago is no ordinary traveler. He is a man who can turn himself into the wind. It's a lie, a test. And now, Santiago has 3 days to do the impossible, or die. This is where most people would break. But Santiago doesn't run. He doesn't beg. Instead, he listens to the desert, to the sky, to the forces that have been guiding him all along. He remembers everything the alchemist taught him. The universe speaks in signs. Everything is connected. And when you truly believe in your destiny, even the impossible becomes possible. On the 3rd day, something extraordinary happens. The wind rises, the sands shift, and Santiago disappears in a storm of dust and air. When it settles, he is still standing. The soldiers, terrified, let him go. He has passed the test. He has proven that he understands the language of the world. But what he doesn't know yet is that the greatest revelation is still ahead. And when he finally reaches the pyramids, what he finds there will change everything. Before we talk about the final lesson Santiago learns, we need to confront a hard reality. Sometimes the thing we've been chasing was never where we thought it was. After everything, the omens, the sacrifices, the trials, Santiago finally stands before the Egyptian pyramids. This is it, the end of his journey. He digs into the sand, heart racing, convinced that his treasure lies beneath. But then, nothing, just dirt and disappointment. As he collapses in exhaustion, a group of thieves finds him. They laugh at his desperation, beat him, and leave him half buried in the sand. And just before they leave, one of them scoffs. I once had a dream about treasure buried under a sycamore tree in Spain, but I was never stupid enough to chase it. Santiago freezes. In that moment, everything clicks. The treasure wasn't in Egypt. It was in Spain, beneath the very tree where his journey began. This is the moment of realization. His personal legend wasn't just about gold. It was about transformation, about the lessons, the people, the trials. And only after he had become the person worthy of the treasure could he truly see where it had been all along. Santiago returns home, digs beneath the tree, and there it is, his treasure, waiting for him. But the real reward isn't the gold. It's the understanding that sometimes we must leave everything behind just to discover that what we were searching for was always within us. Before we conclude this story, let's dive into the most profound lesson Santiago learns. The treasure was never the point. The journey itself is the real reward. As Santiago sits under the sycamore tree, holding the chest filled with gold, he realizes that everything he went through, the hardship, the heartache, the risk, was part of a greater transformation. Each person he met, each choice he made, and every setback he faced was leading him not to a pile of riches, but to a deeper understanding of himself. It's easy to focus on the destination, to chase after the physical rewards we think will bring happiness. But Santiago now understands that the treasure wasn't just gold or jewels. It was the wisdom he gained along the way. The realization that when you pursue your personal legend, the universe does conspire to help you, but only when you're truly committed to the path. Santiago's journey shows us that the real treasure lies in the lessons learned, the people we meet, and the courage to follow our hearts, no matter where they lead us. The real gift is in the becoming, not in the having. And so, as we wrap up Santiago's journey, remember this. Your personal legend isn't just about what you gain at the end. It's about who you become in the process. Because the journey itself is the treasure. Before we conclude, let's step back and understand the bigger picture. The Alchemist is not just a story of one man's journey. It's a universal message for all of us. Paulo Coelho crafted this tale as a guide to our own paths. Santiago's quest for treasure mirrors our own search for meaning and purpose in life. The book teaches us that the universe is always speaking to us, if only we would listen. From the language of the heart to the omens that appear when we need them most, we are never truly alone on our journey. One of the most striking truths of The Alchemist is that we are all connected to something larger than ourselves. We are part of the soul of the world, and as we pursue our dreams, we are in harmony with the flow of life. It's easy to forget this when life becomes difficult or when we feel lost. But Coelho reminds us that the challenges are part of the process. Each one is a necessary step in our own evolution. Ultimately, The Alchemist isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about becoming, about learning to trust the process, to listen to our hearts, and to recognize that every twist and turn is bringing us closer to who we are meant to be. So, as we look back on Santiago's journey, remember this. The answers to life's greatest questions don't lie in distant treasures or far-off places. They lie within us, waiting to be discovered through our own personal legends. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on everything we've learned. Santiago's journey isn't just an adventure. It's a reflection of our own paths. Every choice, every step, and every setback is part of a greater story unfolding in our lives. The greatest lesson from The Alchemist is that the pursuit of our personal legend is not just about the destination. It's about the transformation we undergo along the way. Santiago didn't just find treasure, he found himself. The trials, the sacrifices, the relationships, all of these were stepping stones that helped him grow into the person capable of understanding his true purpose. As you go through your own life, remember that the universe is always conspiring to help you achieve your dreams. Don't be afraid to follow your heart, even when the path seems uncertain. Be open to the signs, listen to your intuition, and trust that the journey itself is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. The treasure you seek might not be where you expect it to be, and it may not even look the way you imagined. But the true reward lies in the journey, where the real treasure is discovered within yourself. Before we close, I want to leave you with this. You don't need to travel the world to find your treasure. The journey toward your personal legend begins with one simple step: choosing to follow your heart. It might be scary, it might feel uncertain, but remember, just like Santiago, you are always guided by a force greater than you can understand. Now it's your turn to embark on your own journey. Take a moment today to reflect on your dreams. What is your personal legend? What does your heart truly desire? It's time to listen, trust, and start walking the path that's meant for you. If you found this video inspiring and you're ready to start your own adventure, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Destiny Unfolded for more videos that help you discover your purpose and live your best life. Remember, the universe has a plan for you. All you need to do is believe and begin the journey.